Jason, I want to set the stage for you here, if I can. I want you to cast...
do like an interpretive dance or something.
That really wouldn't play very well on a podcast, but I could.
It wouldn't play very well, period. But go ahead.
I want you to cast your mind back to the heady salad days of 2007 when Rock Band first came out and everybody was having Rock Band parties all the time.
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome?
No. No. I liked actually going to bands.
Well, but you can't actually play in a band that you go see in concert.
Guess what? You can't actually play when you're playing Rock Band either.
Oh, no. I didn't know. I never knew you were a Rock Band detractor. Are you a Rock Band detractor, Jason?
I am.
Oh.
I couldn't really get into it. I tried, but it just started driving me crazy because I would see these people taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
And good friends of mine, very good friends, I would watch them like playing the guitar on difficult and seeing their little fingers crawl all over the buttons, the colored Fisher-Price buttons at the neck of the guitar.
Yep. And
I was thinking, oh my God, you're so good at this. You could actually be playing guitar right now.
Yes, there it is. That is the it's been so long since I've heard anybody say that about Rock Band, and I miss it so much. You could actually learn how to play these instruments if you just, stopped playing this stupid game and started playing for realsies. So welcome, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit today about Rock Band Blitz. What may well be the last gasp of Rock Band.
Don't you mean the last wet fart?
No, I like this game, Jason.
Okay, but continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Welcome everybody to the loading bar. I am Professor Jeff. I have Jason over here. He doesn't like Rock Band. So here we have Rock Band Blitz, which is, I don't know, it's kind of an odd beast. You got to play it a little bit on our happy hour recording that should be up today, Jason. Or no, wait, you watched me play it. You didn't actually play it yourself.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, okay, Jeff, fuck you.
Which this is a strange game. It's a $15 downloadable title from Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, and essentially what it is it's a single-player version of Rock Band that probably bears a lot more of a close resemblance to Harmonix's first games, Frequency and Amplitude, more than Rock Band, because there are no plastic controllers, there's no drums, there's no vocals, there's no nothing. It's basically just you and a controller playing your Rock Band music. And it's kind of
playing, quote unquote.
Well, yeah. There's two inputs for this. There's a left and a right input, and that's all the notes that you ever get. Everything is divided up into left or right, and there are it's kind of hard to describe this. There's a track in the game for each instrument type. So there's one for drums, bass, guitar, and vocals, and then sometimes a keyboard track if there's keyboard. And your goal is to play the notes on each track up until a certain point and then move over to another track. And you're trying to keep all of the tracks at the same multiplier, because at certain points throughout the song, your multiplier score will get raised up, and it only gets raised up to whatever your lowest upgraded track is. So
at this point, I would recommend that anyone listening to the review who doesn't know what we're talking about just YouTube a video of it.
Or go watch the happy hour.
I don't have a better explanation. Yeah, watch the happy hour.
Yeah.
That'll make more sense.
Yeah. It's really difficult to describe when you and seeing it is much easier than trying to describe it. So for your $15, you're going to get the game. You're going to get 25 songs that can be played in Rock Band 3, and they are weird and make me feel old. Moves like Jagger and Kelly Clarkson and I don't know. There's Rick Springfield in there and Living Colour and some other bands that I actually recognize, but a lot of these are tracks that I have. Hey man, I'm sorry everybody. I don't know who Avenged Sevenfold is.
I've heard a few songs, I think.
Yeah. In some cases, it's an interesting mix of songs. I kind of tended to avoid them because the best and smartest thing about this game is that you can bring in essentially everything that you have purchased on the network for Rock Band, as well as the imports from Rock Band 1 and Rock Band 2, and basically take all of your customized music and play it in this particular program. Which reminded me of just how much I like to play this stuff. I spent all this time and money, putting together a library of songs that I like to play with my friends, and then eventually nobody would come over and play the game anymore because, well, I broke the drums one night when I was drunk and never bothered to buy any new ones.
That is so Keith Moon of you.
That's right. So, in addition to that, this game has a series of modifiers, like these power-ups that you can use on each track that give you different abilities to up your score even more, and there's not really a whole lot outside of that. It's mainly just a way for you to kind of give your Rock Band library one last gasp. The only other thing is that I guess there's an option that in the game that you can essentially attach it to your Facebook and bug all your friends on Facebook to like challenge you to high score battles and stuff like that.
Look at me, it's 2012 and I'm playing Rock Band by myself.
Yeah, I know all that, Jason. Like, there are times when you're sitting there in your living room and you're just like, oh God, man, I could be playing Guild Wars 2 right now with other human beings. I mean, even if they're remote.
I see that pop up on your Facebook. I'm going to call you and be like, dude, you want to go to beer or something? Do you need to talk? I'm in a really dark place right now.
I've been playing Rock Band Blitz for 12 hours straight. I've been doing meth for 11 of those hours. I think the two might be related in some way, but I'm not entirely sure how. So yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything else about the game that might. It's got an interesting aesthetic to it, where it's kind of like you're driving down this road, but there's really only a couple of variations on the looks to it. It's not like there's any different levels or anything. It pretty much all looks the same. And on more complex songs, when you're trying to hit those two buttons, it sounds so easy. Like there's just two buttons, and then you suddenly see it in practice, and you're like, oh fuck, can I just turn it back down to like one button? This have like this.
Yeah, I don't know. This game, it really is. I feel like, okay, let's try to make Rock Band viable one more time, but it's so pared down. It's just this castrated version of it. It's like, hey, let's make a version of Rock Band, but without all of the stupid making you feel like a rock star thing.
Yeah, it definitely is that. And I don't know. I mean, you're probably like, if you're listening to this review and you're trying to make a decision about whether or not you're going to buy it, I think that what a lot of it's going to come down to is just how much money have you sunk into tracks for Rock Band? Like, how much money have you sunk into those tracks, and how much do you like those songs? Because I was reminded, when you play Rock Band and you've got a big enough library, you eventually come to a point where it's just like listening to your iTunes library, except you've got a game to play that's based on that. And if you've got a lot of music, then this is probably totally worth it. On the other hand, if you don't have any music and you don't have any versions of Rock Band, this game is probably not even remotely worth your time. You're going to get these 25 tracks, which are such a mix of genres that you're probably going to like half of them and hate the other half. And you're going to end up with, 12 songs to play over and over again, which is going to suck. So that being said, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of one of those games where I feel like you have to put a caveat on your rating for it, that if you have a lot of Rock Band music, it's totally worth $15. $15 isn't a lot. I give it a full price. It's a way that you can play that stuff, and you get a little bit more mileage out of the money you've already spent on those games.
But if you've never played Rock Band before or purchased Rock Band, you probably don't want to bother.
Yeah, this is probably not. I mean, at this point, if you haven't bought or played Rock Band and you have any interest in it, for the love of fuck, man, go out and get a copy of Rock Band 3. I can't imagine it's more than $50 on Amazon for one of the giant packs that already has all the instruments and the drums and everything with it. I mean, shit, man. Just go get Rock Band and play it. Plus, this game doesn't actually import any of your any of the songs from Rock Band 3, at least not as far as I could see, and that was a little bit disappointing because Rock Band 3 had The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. Love that fucking song. I wanted to play it.
Because it's one of the greatest rock songs of all time, probably like top 3.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing that was really disappointing about this is that I couldn't export Beatles Rock Band. I mean, you can't export Beatles Rock Band into anything, but I don't know. I mean, if you could put all those Beatles songs in there, that would kind of pump up the catalog a little bit more. But what are you going to do? And with that dejected sigh, I'm going to declare this done. I don't even have anything funny to say here at the end, Jason. I feel like we've stretched it out to 10 minutes. That's as much as I've got.
That's as much as the game's got.
Yeah.